Hi, it's Claire, your intuitive reader. Am I reading your story? Let's find out. Well, the first thing I want to say is that this is a little different because people have been asking me during the lives, the coffee hours, whenever I'm interacting with them, okay, you keep talking about manifestation, but how do I do that? And if you, and people have brought up the point of, if you're great at manifesting, then why don't you have like a bazillion, followers or subscribers, or why don't you have this and why don't you have that? And I started thinking about it because I was like, okay, what I'm really seeing here is people's idea of manifestation is very different. And then they follow people and they go, oh, this person is good at manifesting because they have a lot of money. But what if that wasn't what they were manifesting? I mean, did they really actually manifest what they wanted? Because, yeah, they have a lot of money now, but they have no time. They have a scrutiny. They have all these different things about their manifestation. So they manifested money, but are you trying to manifest money? Are you just trying to manifest money? Are you trying to manifest a feeling related to that? And so I started thinking about my own life and the fact that what I wanted to manifest was the ability to have good health, to connect with others like myself, to create my own best life. And that might not be a person's best life, but what I started seeing was manifestation is different for everyone. So before you go, oh, that person's good at manifesting, find out what they were actually trying to manifest. If they were trying to manifest helping people and all they're doing is making money, they actually didn't manifest what they were setting out to manifest. It was another test in their journey to see if they were ready to actually pursue their true manifestation. And if you see someone else and they have almost nothing, but they're very happy and stuff, it's like, wait, what did you try to manifest? Like, our likes are not all the same. And so what we're trying to manifest is different. And so judging a person's manifestations on our own scale is going to give us a false perspective of if the manifestation works. Like, think about, like, I'm wearing this shirt and I thought about this. Kermit wanted Miss Piggy. They're completely different. To probably all the other frogs, it'd be like, why would you want this pig? And she manifested a frog, and all the pigs are like, why are you going out with this scrawny frog? And so there's this oddity here because they manifested each other, but it was not what anyone would have thought as of manifestation. And I know that's Muppets, but that's kind of how I see life. That's how I see manifestation. You can't and so before I move on to the carrying two pictures of what manifestation are. So think about that. Like, I would find someone who talks about what they wanted to manifest and whether they were successful. And then I would be like, okay, I want to follow that person. Like when I was picking my teacher who has helped me over the last, almost a year now, change my way of seeing energy work and spirituality. I was at a psychic fair and it wasn't my cup of tea at all. I did not fit in there, but I found a few key people who I thought could help me on my journey. And I kind of was like, I don't want to be like this one guy who has, TV channels about him and followers and people fawning over him and watching him, tap in or whatever he was doing. I want to be like these other people that look really grounded. They look really secure in their energy. They don't look like they're trying to be a pick me person. Like, yeah, follow me. I'm a leader. I wanted people to actually go on a journey with me. I wanted to find someone who would manifest what their life was best at, what their best life was. And then I was like, oh, they have success. So I picked someone very unusual to go on my path because she was much more reserved. She wasn't trying to get people to follow her. She just was existing and her energy was very good. So I went towards her and I have really gotten a lot out of it. So thinking about that, like one of my favorite Muppets thing is green and red, or red and green. It's about green is this and red is this, and then they can go together. So you can get your manifestation if you follow certain people's practices of really having a clear idea of what you want and going for that. Now it comes the part of that I wanted to talk about is you can't, and here's the negative part. It's more energetic. You cannot hold two realities at once. You cannot live in two places at once. You cannot live in this sense of you want bad things for other people, but you want to live in an abundant world where you're connected to those, to others. You can't have that. So I get, we get very inclined to go after this energy of, I want this person to feel, the wrath of what they did to me. I want them to feel the same things they did to me. Well, that's not going to benefit them. And that's putting a lot of energy into a world that you say you don't want to live in. But that's what you're living in energetically. That's what you're manifesting, because you're directing all your focus, all your energy, all your strength into this energy of, and I'm going more based on what's on the cards that are coming up versus necessarily their true meaning. So this is the 5 of Cups. And so, but you are focusing on the negative. You're focusing on directing energy towards people and towards, instead of using that power and fueling it to create something you want. Like if we weren't focused on this is all that would be there. Like you'd still have these feelings below the surface, but you could deal with that. But if you're trying to live in two places, you're never going to get anywhere. You're not going to get to where you want to be. So this is a journey. This is a journey that you're having to go on, and you're having to bring into, this is actually I'm not sure what number 15 is, because these cards are very unusual. Like they have, they have all these different meanings, and I think that's why I'm using them, because, because they don't have a clear meaning. So I have to kind of look at them. The book isn't even organized very well. So I heard in a reading that I was listening to, it said, when you see a V formation of birds, and I didn't know it was going to be in a card, that'll be proof that you're on the right track. So if you're watching this, when you see a V formation of birds, this V formation of birds, it doesn't have to be, it can be in the city, it can be anywhere. It can be on a TV, it can be on a card. That will be your sign that you're on the right track. It also looks like a number 5, and that's about change. So that will be your indication that your mindset has changed enough on your journey for you to go in a different direction. Okay, yeah, and I was talking about in another reading about manifestation, like growing something. So as you water your manifestation, as you tend to it, it will grow. But in about 5 days or so, you might see something, or something might happen, or you'll see a V formation, or you'll see a V or a number 5 Roman numeral, and that'll be an indication that you are on the right path to manifestation. You're having to move away from a lot. I get, again, this is about the full moon. As the full moon illuminates the way you've been going, you realize that you're actually you're going from the land to the water. You're going into a more emotional way of seeing things. Like you're feeling them. You're starting to see that manifestation has to be a feeling that you actually live in. You cannot live on the land and in the sea. You always have to return to that emotional state. You always have to return to what you're feeling, and what that will be what you create. This is the 10 of water. And So yeah, this is the 10 of cups. This is about abundance. And I keep getting the panther. So you have this energy of you're kind of searching out, you're kind of being quiet and reserved. And I think you need that right now, like with the hermit card, that energy of going within and really feeling your feelings, letting the tears fall. Like, we cannot really manifest our true abundance, what we really, really want, unless we feel it. It is completely about feeling. And I need to do this myself. I have not let myself just sit and cry about things that have ended. And I also haven't let myself celebrate. So there's this kind of 5 of Pentacles, sitting still, 5 of Cups, sitting still energy. And the universe is like, hey, if you really want to create your best manifestation, you've got to feel it. You got to feel what you really want, whether people think it's strange or not, like with Kermit and Miss Piggy. You guys, it's like, okay, that's a strange relationship. Wow. Ugh. Like, why would you want to be with that person? Or, you could do better, or, they're not meeting these needs of yours. And you're like, well, what I want to manifest is not what somebody else wants to manifest. You don't believe that, you don't believe that you have to be all alone in this. You got the 9 of water and the 9 and the 10 of water. So like before, you were kind of swimming upstream. You were exerting a lot of force to get to that 9 of Cups. It was taking a lot. You did it, but it was a lot of work. It was a lot of effort. And manifestation isn't about effort. It's about going with the flow. And if your flow is not in balance, then you can't create. If you are not in balance with how, with who you are, if your energy is not flowing here, and I had to cover her up, but in flow, like this is the crown chakra, and you should be protecting that. You should think about it like that. There's a bunch of bees in there, and that's your higher self. No one else should be in there. So it would evoke bees coming and going out there and like attacking anything that comes towards you and tries to mess with your alignment, because this is your flow of energy from the divine, from the earth to the divine, and from the divine to the earth, like running through you. You're supposed to be a conduit. So the universe wants to give you room to grow and have your manifestations, but it has to be in line with everything. Everything has to be in line. I don't know if that was clear or not. What I would do is do a lot of meditation. And, I was talking to someone today, and they're like, yeah, I know. Everybody talks about how, oh, I don't want to do meditation because it's uncomfortable. And then they look at people who meditate and are spiritual and do all this work, and they're like, oh, it's just so easy for you. It's like, that's the opposite. It's hard work. It's hard work to get yourself in alignment. It's hard work to get yourself spiritually in shape. Like as we join, the new year here, and we're going into our first full moon of the 2025, this is about making sure that you're in spiritual shape. Like if you're like, oh, I'm gonna New Year's resolution, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna go work out, great. But what about your spiritual workout? Is it getting the same time? Are you working on your breath work? Are you working on meditating every day? Someone reminded me about the Calm app, and I use that at the beginning of my meditations all the time. I also use a thing called Sensate, and it's really an awesome device. It looks just like a big plastic rock that you put around your neck, but it actually has programs that resonate at a certain vibration, but they also are kind of auditory. I realized that last night when I was laying down. So you got to put the effort in. Like if you're going to buy gym equipment and gym clothes and running equipment, and if you have none of those things, you can do a search for meditations on YouTube. There are free ones. So don't let money get in the way of you getting in shape. Like if you were going to go out and start running and all you had is jeans and a t-shirt and some flip-flops, you're going to start running in that. And then eventually you will work up to it. Maybe, reach out to someone, but you got to put the effort in, and then the universe will supply. So you get going first. You get going in what you want, like no more excuses, guys. This is emotional boot camp. This is emotional and psychological and spiritual boot camp. Like, that's not easy. People go for periods of time, like weeks, where they don't talk. They go on silent retreats. That takes effort. Oh my gosh, to just quiet the chatter that we are always in. Like, let the spaces, the empty spaces sit. They are rests. They call that in music. That's a rest. And in books and stuff, you have a comma, it's a pause, and a period is a stop. And that's why we learn these things. These are times when we're speaking, when we're thinking, to put punctuation into our thought process. Are we screaming? So think about an exclamation point. Are we pausing? Think about a comma. Are we, and if you're into music, there's plenty of those, refrains, rests, and then, cooking. You have to let things rest. You have to let things rise. You have to let things, like bread dough, you have to let it expand and grow. So everything in nature has a period of taking pauses and stops and letting the existence of life be there. So the Calm app is a really great one if you have a little bit of money. You can also join some different people's platforms that have meditation practices. I haven't tried it yet, but there's a woman, her name is, I don't know how to pronounce it. Her name is Sarah, but she goes by something else. And she has a grimoire. And I haven't tried her meditations yet, but I like her energy and stuff like that. So I'm curious to try that. I'm got class and stuff. And I have a spiritual guide. Her name is Marie, the Spirit Guide. And she's on YouTube. She does, if you're not interested in her other content, she does meditations, and then you can learn from her. And I got a lot out of that. I actually tried that before I started her classes, and I really liked her meditations. So you got to find what works for you, and then really focus. This isn't something you do one day and you get your manifestation. What that's going to get you is McDonald's level manifestations. The amount of effort you put in, like the home cooked meal versus the like slapping something in the microwave and making it, you're going to get a completely different feeling. You can get food delivered to you. It's going to have a different resonance. It's going to have a different feeling. It's going to nourish you in different ways. You're going to have additives, extra salt, and all these different things that you wouldn't have with your own cooking. So if you put that effort in, it does take effort. There is no easy here. Like, people come on and they're like, tell me how to manifest money. Tell me how to manifest, love. And I'm like, okay, well, you can manifest something really quick. Is it going to last? Or are you just wanting to manifest a quick fix? And that's what we've been really wanting. But there's nothing like the original. Number 11 here, originality. Like, you're the only one who can manifest exactly or create exactly. Like, we can have the same recipe, and what I create and what you create will be completely different. It will taste different. It will have a different thing because we cook it differently. We have the heat on differently. No matter, low to somebody is not low to another person is too, it's like that interesting, like a pinch of salt. Like, well, my fingers are this big. Now, if you have a kid put in a pinch, it's going to be different, or they might just grab a whole bunch because our perception of a pinch is different. So you're the only one you are the original. You're the only one who can manifest exactly what you want. People can help you on your journey, but they can't do it for you. Like, see, here's the bird with a star. It's carrying the star right now. So you need to, you need to find guidance from people that have already done this or have already created. Like, if your goal is to just manifest money, then you should find someone who that's their goal. That's what they set out to do. I can guarantee you what they really set out to do was find approval, was find people they wanted power. And so is that really what you're looking for? Because if you're looking for power, you're going about it the wrong way. Power starts within yourself. When you don't care what anyone else thinks, when you're doing your own thing, when you're your own oddball and stuff like that, that's where your power lies. And you can create anything because you're not staying in a box. You're not staying in this very stagnant box in order to manifest. You're going along your own journey. Yeah, look what happens when, so this is the Six of Water, and a lot of water has come through. And I get that that's the cups. I don't know for sure. So we're going to guess here. But see how easy it was for the bird to grab. The bird's up above, but can see the fish all going together. And then there's that fish that's by itself, that oddball fish that is going in its own direction, swimming. It can move really quickly. And instead, it goes for the school of fish, all these fish together, because it's easy picking. It's easy pickings. So think about that. Like, if you're going to just go along with the crowd, you could also get stuck in the crowd. You could get, lost in the crowd. And so making sure that you're manifesting where you want to be. Because like I said, and this came up again, you can't have it both ways. So which one do you want? You've got to put your effort and work into finding that manifestation. And once you decide, there's nothing that can stop you. Now, this is the Three of Air, which would be the Three of Wands, but I don't get that. I mean, the Three of Swords, but I don't get that. I get that, like, once you take flight, nothing can stop you. Once you do that, and that might cause heartbreak in others, but are you keeping yourself stuck so that you don't cause other people to have heartbreak? Because I'm going to tell you, like if you love someone, let them go. If they return, it was meant to be. And so you have to be able to fly. You can't hold yourself back, or you literally will not create what you want. And then I loved this card. I got this earlier. And what I see that with the Ace of Air here, the Ace of Swords, is your song, your individual resonance is based on your ancestral knowledge of all the things you've been through about the past. And it's creating your own personal resonance that no one else has. So I get that you guys are very special, very wonderful, and you shouldn't be followers. You should move forward. You should plant your harvest. You should create what you want to create. It's going to be very abundant. It's going to be very magical. So I love that energy. But remember, you got to keep things in balance for yourself. Keep yourself healthy. What works for one person won't work for another. So you have to remember that just because it's good medicine for someone else does not mean it's good for you. Just because one person's meditation practices works for you doesn't mean that it works for one person. It doesn't mean it works for you. Everything has to be in line. So you've got to find and fine tune. Just like if you were playing basketball, just if you were doing track and field, you would take certain guidelines, you would take certain practices, but you would cater them to what works best for you. So that's what you've got to do with your spiritual manifestation practice. Balance, balance, balance. And start off, like I said, get the Calm app if you can. Sensei's a great practice. But if you can't, go on YouTube and look and find what works for you. It doesn't have to be the same meditation that works for someone else. Maybe you'll find something that works completely different for you. But you have to do it every day. You have to stick with it. You can meditate in bed. You can meditate in the bathroom. You can meditate while you're taking a shower. You can do that because it's actually supposed to ground you. It's not supposed to make you up in your head. That means you're not actually grounded. You're not actually in your body in the present moment. So you should be able to meditate anywhere. Maybe don't close your eyes in the shower and then, have the soap. You might fall. But my point is, you can take this anywhere. You can do this anywhere, but you got to do it. That's the important thing here. You got to do it. You can't say, "Oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow." No, because then you missed a day on your practice, and then you're gonna have to start all over again. It's about endurance. And if you miss a day, be like, okay, I missed a day. I forgive myself. Now, why did I miss that day? Did I miss that day because I really literally couldn't find 5 minutes while I was in the bathroom, or when I just woke up in the morning, or when I'm going to sleep at night? I really couldn't find even 5 minutes to ground my energy. Why are you making that excuse? You're making that excuse because you're afraid of the manifestation. You're afraid that you don't have control over it. And right now, you don't. So every time your mind goes to this reality, I want you to go, okay, mind. Okay, mind, I see that you want me to follow the red balloon, and you want me to follow the deflated, drowning red balloon. No, I'm not going to do that. Thank you. I hear you. Now, and then you redirect your mind. Redirect. Just like you would with a kid or a pet. You'd be like, okay, oh, hey, yeah, you're attacking, like my dogs do sometimes. And then I redirect them. I don't go, you're a bad person, dog, or you're a bad person for thinking that. I'm like, okay, let's redirect our energy. So that's my take on manifestation, and I hoped it helped. I'll do some more of these, maybe a little shorter, and just focus on that. But I wanted to get in there and at least address some of the things that people have been asking me. So I love you guys. And I'll talk to you later. Oh, please like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on that notification, turn on all notifications. And most importantly, come back. I love you guys so much. Can't wait to see you at the lives and the pop-in coffee hours. I've been having so much fun interacting with you. Okay, bye.